We've seen that rotation into some of the defensive sectors, whether you want to talk about healthcare and some of the others here. Does that offer sort of anything for investors right now, or should they be a little bit cautious about those areas as well?
No, we really like tech, and especially with the dividend yields that you get on a lot of the pharma stocks, and the fact that you should have healthcare spend coming back, especially as folks kind of go back to hospitals and kind of research healthcare options post-COVID. So we think healthcare does pretty well. And then a couple of maybe non-consensus, calls would be energy and materials. We believe we're in the early innings of a bull super cycle in commodities, and we think although they may kind of underperform here in the coming weeks and months within the recession that we see, we think energy and materials are really interesting longer-term plays because of a lot of the stuff that we're going to need in order for electrification to occur. And we also don't think that the fossil fuels go away, right away.
Yeah, when we talk about that potential for a super cycle, Samir, you have to, of course, talk about the role of China in the global economy. And I know that people had expected that super cycle to start earlier this year with the reopening of the Chinese economy. Maybe they do catch up, but what does that become? How does that factor into the equation, China?
Yeah, so I think we are probably at the point of maximum pessimism around China. That doesn't mean that they couldn't languish for a little while longer, but we think at current levels on commodity prices, you're pretty much looking at about as bad as it gets. Now, again, the recession may cause a little bit of an overshoot to the downside, but you've seen them, already kind of intervene in the yuan markets. We've already seen them kind of cut rates around the margins. We don't expect wide-scale stimulus, but it is now interesting that they are starting to do some things around the edges to stabilize that growth, which we think will be enough.